Welcome to another episode of Film Fanatics presented by St. George News. I'm Adam Mast with Cinemast.net.
And I'm Sheldon Demke.
And we had quite the cinematic adventure last week, didn't we?
Did we ever. We were in Vegas, Adam.
For CinemaCon.
CinemaCon. CinemaCon is brought to you by NATO, the National Association of Theater Owners, and they put together this thing for basically the...
exhibitors.
The exhibitors, for film exhibitors.
They show off all the latest hardware, movie theater hardware, and of course, snack bar goodies. I think we pretty much stocked up on junk food, which was fantastic.
We were there for the movies.
Of course, this is
all
Film
the big
Fanatics.
studios, all the big studios get together and they show off what they've got.
Nine studios. We had Universal Pictures, Walt Disney Pictures, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Sony Pictures, 20th Century Fox, Lionsgate, STX, and Amazon Studios. So they were all there. It was a record-breaking year for CinemaCon.
Yeah.
All the studios were there. We were at the Paramount presentation, which kicked off the whole event. My favorite footage was for a film called The Story of Your Life,
right,
which is a philosophical sci-fi movie from the director of Sicario and Prisoners. Looks fantastic, stars Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner. They were both there. They have great chemistry. And I like a good thinking man science fiction movie, and that's what this looks like. Fantastic.
J.J. Abrams was there.
J.J. Abrams was there, and he was presented an award by the great Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg.
So that was a lot of fun.
Always a lot of fun.
There was a great Sony Pictures panel, and I think we're in agreement on this, that our favorite footage there was for a movie called Passengers,
yes,
which stars Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes.
J-Law, exactly, as they like to call her. And this is another kind of a philosophical sci-fi movie from the director of Imitation Game, and it looks fantastic as well.
We also went to a Warner Brothers panel, which was fantastic.
Absolutely outstanding, and the big draw there was the DC Comics stuff, riding high on the success of a Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. So we got some new footage from Suicide Squad, which looks absolutely amazing. There was actually footage for Wonder Woman, which comes out next year.
I'm kind of excited
Gal
about that.
Gadot looks awesome.
Beautiful.
She's going to knock it out of the park.
Yes.
They also announced that Ben Affleck is officially writing and directing a standalone Batman movie. Warner Brothers had it going on. One of the coolest things they showed was footage from The Nice Guys, introduced by Russell Crowe himself.
He was there.
Shane Black was there too, who wrote and directed it, but he was sitting a few rows behind us. He didn't even go up to introduce the movie. A great Walt Disney Pictures presentation.
Yes.
And they didn't mess around. Rather than showing a bunch of footage from upcoming movies, they dropped 27 minutes of Finding Dory, which is, of course, the sequel to Finding Nemo, which subsequently is my all-time favorite Pixar movie. And then they showed us Captain America: Civil War.
Civil War.
It's in its entirety.
Yes.
And Bruce and I will be doing a review on that in a couple of weeks. 20th Century Fox. They open with a bang. Vanilla Ice in the house, singing Ice Age Baby.
You had all these backup dancers.
And how do you close out a Fox panel? You open with your big guns, Vanilla Ice, and you close the show out with James Cameron. James Cameron was on hand to not introduce one Avatar sequel, but 4, and then he showed some conceptual art. Lionsgate presentation, Keanu Reeves was there, dropped the first footage from John Wick, Chapter 2, which everyone went crazy over. They also showed footage from Damien Chazelle's follow-up to Whiplash, which is a LA-based musical called La La Land with Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling.
Very interesting, yeah.
Looks fantastic, can't wait. And then we saw some new footage from Deepwater Horizon. So there's a subdivision of 20th Century Fox, which is Fox Searchlight.
Right.
And they've got the big payday from Sundance. They acquired Birth of a Nation,
which looks fantastic.
Nate Parker, the director, was there, and it really does look great. And it's cool because it's not a movie about submission, it's a movie about an uprising. The final day, the press conference for the award show, Susan Sarandon was there, and I know that meant a lot to us because you and I are big Rocky Horror Picture Show fans. Anna Kendrick, Zac Efron was there. Jesse Eisenberg was there.
He's a trip.
It was so much fun.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
I love Bryce Dallas Howard.
A peach. Let's get to the big stuff. Okay, Brent Spiner was there, as everyone knows, as Data from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
The crazy scientist guy.
Crazy dude. And I'm pretty sure he died in the first Independence Day, but they're bringing him back through the miracle of science fiction movies. But the big highlight had to be Jeff Goldblum. Jeff
Goldblum was so much fun.
Not only was he fun, but he's just so warm and inviting.
He really is.
You just want to go hang out and have a beer with the guy.
Oh man,
we should have tracked him down and had a beer with the guy. I don't know what we were thinking. Sony Pictures brought Tom Holland out. He's the new Spider-Man, and they announced the new Spider-Man film. Yes, they're rebooting Spider-Man again.
Yet again.
This one is called Spider-Man Homecoming,
yeah.
and it's being directed by the gentleman that did a film called Cop Car, which opened last year.
Really?
So, yeah, little independent filmmaker makes
interesting.
good. That seems to be the big mantra lately. They're
Right.
bringing in all these small filmmakers to do these big movies. Tom Holland is great, though. He's fantastic.
Yeah, in Civil War, he's
He's perfect
very
as
fun.
Spider-Man.
Very fun. And we went to a crazy Universal panel.
And Universal had it going
Oh
on.
man, they brought it.
Frank Marshall walks out on stage and they debuted the new trailer for Jason Bourne. And Marshall was quick to point out that this movie has one of the best car chase sequences he's ever been a part
Right
of.
on the Vegas Strip.
It looks so awesome.
man.
And then they also
Duncan
showed-
Jones was there.
Yeah, for Warcraft.
Warcraft, and that
100
actually looks
million-
pretty good.
100 million gamers can't be wrong, am I right?
You're right.
I have to say this is the best footage from that movie that I've seen because in addition to being a big spectacle, it looks like it has a lot of heart as well. I'm very excited.
Speaking of Hart, Kevin Hart was there.
Kevin Hart was there for, what's his film? What Now?
Oh, What Now?
Right, which is it's a hybrid. It's like an action movie / concert film. And Kevin Hart brought the house down when he got up to introduce the footage, and it looked great. And then Universal closed out with Illumination, which is their
Right. Their
animation division.
right.
And they showed us some footage from a new film called Sing, as well as Secret Life of Pets. But the cool stuff, they did some Despicable Me 3 stuff, which is very early in production right now. But they went into the plot a little bit, and it's a sibling rivalry story, which means I assume Gru is going to be a jerk again in this one, which is going to be great.
But they're bringing on his twin brother Drew.
with a nice,
lovely
flowing blonde
locks of hair. So
and I'm sure this hits home with you because you have a twin brother.
Right.
So I'm sure you're going to be all about it.
But I'm the one with the good hair, actually.
Yes, exactly. Look at this. It's
I know, right?
so beautiful.
Well, what I was excited about is the villain.
Yes.
In Despicable Me 3, they just announced who's playing the villain, who's voicing the villain.
Right, Trey Parker.
Trey Parker from South Park. I could not believe it.
Which is so cool. And then Universal Illumination closed out with a big announcement. They're doing a new Grinch movie.
That's
but
right.
It's a feature length. It's an animated feature, and they announced who's going to be playing the Grinch. And I think we can both agree it's pretty awesome. Who is it?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's right, Sherlock fans.
Oh, man.
Holmes himself as the Grinch. And they did show us some animation tests of that, too, like how he walks. He does that
Facial
little creepy thing
features.
and the big
It's going to be
Cheshire
great.
cat
It's
style
going to be
grin.
great.
Fantastic.
CinemaCon. It was so much
CinemaCon.
fun. I mean, we can't even tell you everything we
Feel
saw.
it.
All the stars that we saw.
Smell
Everybody.
it. CinemaCon.
It was
Love it.
full of movie stars.
Obviously, this is the Film Fanatics, kind of a short show. We can't share everything with you that we saw, but there's plenty of coverage at Cinemast.net, and we want to give a shout out to the guys that helped us.
John Pugh and Jeffrey Sanders.
And Sean LeBrac, and you, of course. You're an amazing producer.
It was so much fun.
Couldn't have pulled all this stuff out.
So much fun
with
being
you.
up there. Sin City.
Totally agree. CinemaCon, we're going to do it again next year. This was our 16th year.
Wow.
And we're not stopping. We're going to keep going. Thank you for joining us on another fabulous edition of Film Fanatics. I'm Adam Mast with Cinemast.net.
And I'm Sheldon Demke. And we're Film Fanatics. Are you? Oh, man.
CinemaCon.
So many movies and so many highlights.
Kinda sucks having to come home.
I mean, it does. I mean, we saw Sylvester Stallone, Birth of a Nation.